killing me. Sitting in that car is killing me. There's a lot of times people don't realize that what they're doing is using somebody. And there's a lot of times where it's just simply not intentional. There's also your interpersonal relationships and family relationships. Oh, a kitty cat. It's not a black cat, but it definitely ran in front of me. Oh, there's one across the street too, it looks like. Anyway, I found a parking lot where it's not too bad to stop in for a few minutes. I think they're definitely closed, so that's alright. This is a pretty small town, so I don't expect anything to be open 24 hours a day. Just the way life goes. Oh, somebody left their gloves here. Now there's a lot of stuff. It's not just in the last couple of weeks, but of course the last couple of weeks is a good example. There's a lot of people's other interpersonal relationships that have quite a bearing on my situation. And whether or not people want to admit to it doesn't change the fact that it's a fact. Now, one of the situations, for example, like, all right, tonight. Well, it's morning time now. So Claire was gonna, I guess, help me tonight, and she was gonna listen to it and take a look at some of it, I guess. But again, that didn't happen. But that's because of the dynamic I was telling you about before with, well, it just seems to me like I don't want to say that Casey is getting territorial over her, because not really, but kind of hovering. And that's usually a sign of want for a potential mate or the need for not feeling alone. And so even though there was another chance tonight to try to get something done, it's another one of those situations where somebody else needing attention results in me having to hurry up and wait again. I'm always the one hurrying up and waiting.
Let John know that I forgot to lock up the cooler diet. Which one is your car again? The outside ice.
Sorry, pardon me, folks.
Which car are we going to again? The one on the other side of that.
Anyway, people's interpersonal relationships aren't really my business, right? Well, I would agree with that, mostly. Except when it gets in the way of actually helping somebody, and when it's somebody like me, I'll run around like a chicken with my head cut off, trying to help people so that they understand, hey, I'll work together with you, but I need help too. Most people, they don't see it that way. And a lot of people, they say that they'll help me, and then of course, like tonight, she was gonna get familiar with the situation, just like yesterday she was gonna get familiar with the situation. And her and Casey both needed gas, and of course they both still need gas. Now there's good news with her. She's got an appointment, I guess, 2 o'clock. They're gonna take her vehicle in, and I don't know how long it'll take to fix it, but at least they're gonna take it in tomorrow and work on it, which is a good thing. And I guess it kind of looks like the Safeway employees are either leaving work or going to work, so I'm gonna actually head somewhere else so I'm not bugging them. I didn't actually expect anybody to be in the parking lot. Hello?
What's that?
Oh, I was making a video log. I was gonna find a quiet place, but then as I was walking by here, I'm like, man, there's a bunch of Safeway employees, it looks like, out here. I'm just being rude.
No, we're just getting off work. I'm waiting for a buddy.
Oh, cool. Would you be willing to sell a cigarette?
Dude, I got one left, dude.
I'm not gonna hate you. I have rolling papers in the vehicle, and I picked up some snipes. I can totally roll one.
Yeah, tomorrow's payday, so it's gonna be a long night.
Yes, sir. That's too bad that one's wet. That's all right. You have a pleasant evening. Anyway, one of the things is people expect me to not say nothing. Well, you know, I'm going to say something, and I have to. It's because even though you don't intend for your interpersonal relationships to affect me or affect my situation, one of the things is that every time it's going to be Claire going to help me, it's not Claire helping me, it's me waiting on her and Casey to stop hanging out so that we can actually hopefully get something done, and it just takes forever while I run and do errands and shit. And I can't just keep on doing that for folks. But I also was going to try explaining that tonight, and instead of getting to do that, they're cuddling, which of course I'm fine with that, you know. Different strokes for different folks. I'd just as soon not cuddle with a human being, because human beings have expectations of the sexual sort, and those divert their brains and make them useless. Between somebody who has sex on the brain and somebody who is drunk, yeah, it's a toss-up there as to which one is more dangerous. I'd say the one who's got sex on the brain. Because one who has sex on the brain has a mental block. Their hormones are blocking their brain from other sorts of function. And that doesn't mean for just every idiot. That's for every human being. So keep that in mind. Now, for me, I have to understand the dynamics and everything else. But the thing is, I can't take a second seat to Casey. And I can't take a second seat to, well, with anybody who's going to help me. I got to understand that they have interpersonal relationships, right? And they're going to have them. But as far as setting up an appointment to get something done, and people saying that they'll help me, and then I end up being running around doing all this stuff while they're, well, at least they have time to develop an interpersonal relationship. But as far as following through, yeah, they're not. And I keep hoping, and, you know, hope only goes so far. That's why I make efforts. I remind them, you know. But we never even get that far, because it's one of those things where it's hurry up and wait, hurry up and wait, hurry up and wait. So tonight, while I was charging up the battery, which is apparently important, and I'm doing the best that I can, but I'm bringing food, and I'm charging up batteries and driving batteries to places where other people can charge them and going and picking them up, and I'm exhausted. This is one of the things that sucks about getting used. You know, sometimes people don't realize that's even what they're doing. A lot of people, when they take advantage of you, they don't intend on it. They just don't think of it. They think in terms of what they want or what they need. And some people cannot distinguish between the two. Now, for me, I gotta go find a place where there's at least a couple other homeless people on the street, so if something does happen, at least somebody will see it. But I also need to find somebody who's actually going to help me. Claire was going to help me earlier today, but she needed to take a nap, and that actually, not today, actually, that would have been yesterday, because it's after midnight now. But the point is, like, I'm overwhelmed. I need actual help. I am stressed to the max. And hopefully, if I keep jumping through other people's hoops, maybe they'll stop and listen and take a look. No, it's always going to be something other than that. It's kind of like when I was an artist, people wanted the artwork, but there's always somebody else that needs to get paid first. Uh, there's a lot of people that aren't able to make the connection of being broke. There's also a lot of people who absolutely make the connection, and whatever it takes to not be broke is what they're after. There's also the ones who just want to help. The most useful ones are the ones who have been at the bottom. The least useful ones are the ones who got a college education on it. All right. I am trying not to pass out where I'm at. So what I'm going to do is relocate. The point is, it's been a few days, and I don't hate people for their interpersonal relationships. I'm annoyed by the fact that they don't get how that affects me. Like, yes, you can find another time, Casey, I don't mind helping out, but I need help too, and I'm there specifically for the help that I was going to get, and I'm not able to get that help because, well, now the people that were going to help me need this added onto it, and that added onto it, and so much more added onto it. And the thing is, whether or not they're intending to take advantage of me and screw me over or not is pretty much arbitrary. I don't care. Well, I actually do care. But whether or not I care, the point is, what did they do versus what didn't they? It's not a hateful thing. It's a situation where I feel very alienated. And sure, nice things, nice words and whatnot, but the follow through is the tough part. Alright. What all do I have in here that would be useful at this current point in time? I was looking for a rolling paper, but it doesn't look like that's gonna happen. Anyway, I also don't think that, well, maybe Claire will go in, but here's the thing. The longer it goes on, then the more difficult it is for me, because there are more issues I gotta go through that goes without being properly reported or investigated, because I literally have to keep on going in for help alone. And I keep hoping that these folks understand the situation and that it's not just them, and they claim that they do, and then they do the same thing again. No, that's not exactly help. And no matter how much they intend it to be help, the thing is, I'm actively trying to assist. Now, obviously, I probably shouldn't blame the whole thing on myself or blame the whole thing on any of the other parties. The fact is, the dynamics of the world we live in are the dynamics of the world that we live in. We live by the laws of both predators and prey, wolves and sheep alike. It's a confusing era we live in too, because we got a lot of people telling us, oh, we're like monkeys or we're like chimpanzees. Oh, well, there's no other primates in the world that eat meat. I'm like, oh my God, there are plenty of omnivorous fucking animals that are primates. But apparently bugs are considered plants these days, I guess. I think it depends on the species and also on what point in their life culture or life cycle they're going through. I mean, there's times in a baby elephant's life where it has to eat its mother's poop. How messed up is that? That's so that it can actually develop the enzymes and the bacteria required to transition from drinking milk to digesting leaves. Those bacteria are important. Anyway, I have no idea where my rolling papers are. I guess they're not as important as I was trying to make them out to be. And the situation with people's interpersonal relationships, I'm fine with them having them. I just wish that it didn't keep on ending up with me being blown off or wasting resources and wasting time, and people not stopping to understand, hey, you're not listening. With them cuddling, they're allowed to. They're people. They're both grown-ass adults that are well aware of their actions. It's not like they were trying to make a porno video in the vehicle next to me or anything creepy like that. You know, they were just, I guess, both resting and she was sleeping. And that's one of the problems with helping people too, is that, you know, I was out there in the vehicle making sure that her battery was charged, and I could have been actually getting something done with her, but I gotta wait until he gets finished taking her time up because I can't compete with him for her attention. I need actual help. And if he's gonna either make a joke about everything or turn everything to a story trading thing, at the end of the day, I don't end up getting help. I just end up with my time being wasted, and at the end of the day, he's still got to go figure out something about gas, so he can't help. Well, that's the thing, is that I can't just wait on him. It's annoying. It's not a hatred thing towards anybody. It's an annoyance thing. Like, hey, could we actually get down to the task agreed on? But you can't push it because then people end up usually getting quite snooty. And that sucks. A lot of people find me easy to get along with because I am so amiable, I guess. I'm pretty easy to get along with because I don't go looking for trouble or trying to find excuses to be fucking insulted. When I am insulted, it's for good reason. Why is it that every time these people are going to help me, it ends up being me helping them? And hanging out with myself instead of getting help. Well, that was someone honking behind me. I don't see any headlights though. Also, as far as when it comes to personal business, if it's a reason that you're not helping me when you said that you would, it's not your personal business. It's my business too. It is an integral part of the abuse that I have to endure every day. Pretending that it doesn't exist doesn't make it go away. When I say no victim left behind, I say that knowing that there are millions of male victims in the United States. I know because I am one of them. And I know that for many of us, our predators were male, and also many of our predators were female. It's not like there's a preset receipt of life issues that you're going to be pre-programmed to endure. There are some traumas that you may never have to endure in your lifetime, and you are so lucky. We tend to pretend like people who go through that stuff are quack jobs because it could never happen here, right? And then, of course, you find out somebody killed 14 people or more. You're like, man, he was such a nice guy. Are you sure about that? Who is he nice to and why? The problem is that with interpersonal relationships and appointments, you know, that's one of the things about folks out here is that they don't realize how many times they've blown me off. Claire doesn't understand that on several occasions that, well, it wasn't just her who blew me off. He had blown me off. He was gonna, but he didn't show up. He was gonna do this, and he didn't show up. He was gonna do that, but didn't show up. But also, he did go in with me to hopefully talk to, God, who was it? Shit, I can't remember. I'm tired as shit. And that's one of the things about hurrying up and waiting is that I have nonstop fucking anxiety over shit like this. Like, when are you going to make the time? How much favors do I have to do for you to understand, hey, I am going out of my way to give you literally everything that you fucking want? And you're not doing anything actually useful for me except giving me empty promises and hugs. Okay, fine, hugs. I'll give you hugs. I understand hugs are pretty important, but they don't get any work done. They get nothing done. They get nothing accomplished. So I'm fine with giving hugs. I really am. But I'm not fine with getting fleeced. Now, obviously, I don't hate people for this, but I am overwhelmed by it. How much do I have to give before I am worthy of actual fucking help? See, this is the thing. Everywhere I go, I end up being the one who's fucking jumping through hoops to make everybody else happy. Hey, if I fucking give you every goddamn thing that your heart's fucking content, will you tell the goddamn truth? If I sold my heart and soul and right arm and left fucking leg to the goddamn devil, it wouldn't be enough. Like, why can't she take the time to keep her word? Why couldn't he take the time to keep his word? Why am I still running around doing shit for them? I can't afford this. I need actual fucking help. For them, the difficulties of getting fucking gas, okay, fine. Difficulties in getting gas. With him, whatever, dude. He's latched onto her like she's fucking property. I'm not going to get help from Claire from this point on. I can't. He's not going to fucking allow it. Meanwhile, I'm not after fucking vagina. I need help. Not when they decide to stop fucking cuddling. Like here I am doing all the running around. They hang out and take fucking naps. And I bring them fucking food. I am exhausted. I need somebody to actually fucking help. Yes, I'm a nice fucking guy. Yes, I offered to help, but they offered to help me too. And I've spent over half a month between the two of them. When are you gonna keep your word? Never! Cuddling and canoodling and all your own stuff is more important than actually helping somebody out. Why is it that I'm the one doing all the fucking work? Sucks needing help and getting this. Like, why couldn't you cuddle later? Why couldn't you do something different earlier when I literally spent the whole day jumping through hoops? If I do these things, will you keep your word? If I help you get your goddamn battery, will you keep your word? Or is it gonna come right up to the goddamn moment and you're gonna make some fucking excuse why you fucking can't? Or you're gonna fucking emotionally dump all your bullshit with your fucking kids in your life on me? I just spent fucking days jumping through fucking hoops. I'm tired of this shit. I need fucking help. And I'm jumping through hoops for fucking alcoholics and junkies. A lot of people want to throw it in my face that people offered to help. The problem wasn't all the fucking offers. It was the fact that nobody follows through. I don't have the resources to keep wasting on empty fucking promises. I don't have the resources to keep wasting on empty fucking words. I have to go out and try to earn those fucking resources somehow, some way. Just like they have to go out and get that shit, but then again, they got time for fucking cuddling and canoodling and all sorts of shit. I'm exhausted. And I don't have any hatred or animosity towards any of these fucking people. I'm having fucking severe panic attacks. It's not a fucking hate thing. It's not a disrespect thing. And I can't say nothing or people assume that it is a disrespect thing. Or treat me like it is a hate thing. Or like, because I understand the human dynamics that I'm doing bad shit. You know, getting to understand people or learn about people is important. But for me, what they're not understanding is I am fucking scared shitless that they're never gonna fucking listen, because there's always something else that is more important. I'm not human enough for people to want to do anything about the problems I'm going through in real life. Nobody in real life. It would have been nice if my dad, when I was there in real life, if my dad would have taken the time to take a look. Do what?
I said, oh no, I'm on their shield property. I must be up to no good.
Oh my God, they better not fucking hassle you for being here. That's the thing. It's
They already
like,
told me I can't come back for nothing. I paid for my coffee and they were like, you stole that coffee. And I was like, I put the money on the fucking counter already. And then I walked out. So
I don't.
I
I'm
was
trying to
gonna
find a rolling paper.
in the dash in my car. Do you know what that is? Oh, can you show them where my car is? I'm gonna go over to the Safeway Wi-Fi really fast.
I can't. I'm gonna sit here and vent for a minute because I am frustrated and having severe anxiety. I gotta find a rolling paper. I have enough snipes that I can roll a tobacco, but there might be enough there for two. Do you have any rolling papers?
I don't.
Well, I'm gonna try digging for mine, I guess. So what do you think of the dynamics of living out here?
They suck.
Tough getting treated like a human, ain't it?
Like a tree exception.
Yeah, but you don't look like a sub.
No.
It's probably because somebody ain't sliced you in half and stuffed you with pickles and olives and lettuce and extra tomatoes and provolone. I'm trying to get people educated on what it's really like to be homeless, but they got their own thing in their head, and then we've got the homeless all afraid to speak up. You know, Martin Luther King Jr. and his Million Man March, that's pretty easy to do when everybody's on the same side, but out here on the streets, everybody's divided. We all get screwed over by the cops, people get desperate, and then they screw each other over.
You going?
Probably San Jose de Rio Preto, except they won't let me south of the border. All right, let me see if I had to find a place where there was better light, because if I do have my rolling papers, which I should, it's just a matter of finding them. And finding them is a matter of the light. And I'm not talking to Jesus either. I don't mind the Jesus, but, you know, Lieutenant Colonel Stanislav Petrov is the reason we're all still alive today. So I think maybe people should be giving their praises to Stanislav instead of Jesus. Or both. Or both. I know that Stanislav Petrov is a person who actually existed, actually saved every one of us from nuclear holocaust, which is pretty sweet. He's not the best looking guy, so I can understand why they don't make movies about him. When we make comic characters, we gotta make them with the rippling muscles. That's right. Like Boris and Natasha. Wait, no, they didn't have rippling muscles, did they? Boris was short and fat, and Natasha was tall and skinny. And they were apparently on something, because they were apparently able to converse with mooses and squirrels. And as far as I could tell, it wasn't a prison. All right. I'm done talking to myself. Here you go. Ah, you're one of them fuckers. Did you get your fingers broken? Or frostbitten?
Both, probably.
Ah.
Hitting neuropathy in my fingertips.
So you can't feel nothing.
No, the tip of my fingers now.
Sometimes mine are ultra sensitive. Although it's my back that seems to be the major problem. I'm hoping it's. I was looking up a bunch of the stuff that it could be when they were telling me what it could be, the doctors and all that, and I started looking through and trying to find out what it. Man, there is so much back issues that you can have. Sometimes it's neurological, but like sometimes what they were telling me is that I got degenerative disc disease. But then there's a lot of stuff that are complications from other issues, like if you got Crohn's or different type of cancers, or if you got a certain type of infection, or like once you start getting into that, you realize that it's probably best not to play doctor at home with yourself. But then you go to the doctor at the hospital and it's not any different.
No, it's like this here. Crapshoot.
I've noticed a lot of people that I know personally have gone to the doctor, gotten the wrong diagnosis, and then had to go back to the same doctor because their insurance wouldn't cover a real doctor. And then they tell them, oh, well, your doctor is a real doctor. Well, yes, my doctor has the paperwork and the letters. It's framed in a little frame on their wall. But as far as being an effective doctor, like, no, they're not. My friend Amanda, she broke, well, we're not friends anymore. I'm really not friends with any of my old friends anymore. That's amusing. Anyway, she broke her foot. And the doctors told her that her foot was not broken without doing an x-ray. Told her to take some Tylenol and go home. So for like months, she's walking around on a busted foot. And she's not a skinny woman. Plus, she's got 2 special needs kids, and that made it a fucking pain in the ass, too. Alright. If you let me smoke half of this, I'll let you have the second half, if that's acceptable. I got a YouTube channel, and I talk about all the social issues that we have. I also speak on social issues that other people have, and I try to get people to look at, well, the truth. But the American public seems to think that every homeless person has this mass hallucination about being harassed by the cops everywhere and being told to move on. Or the, hey, let's get them on a bus and move them elsewhere thing. Like, yeah, that's a tactic used nationwide that still doesn't work. We got lots of these people that after, 10 or 15 years of having these, bus to home programs, instead of them using the bus to home programs to send people home, they end up using it for when there's a homeless person who's trying to press charges against them. And they're like, all right, well, I'll tell you what, we'll either press our false charges against you, or you can take our money and get the fuck out of state, or at least go to another town. It's stupid. And then people wonder where all the money's going. Well, in that particular case, it goes to protecting the crooked cop and goes to trying to make believe like their victim is getting a special deal. You're a useless asswipe, but hey, here's some money to leave town. Oh, thank you very much. But a lot of those cities are taking away those programs now because, those people that they're giving bus tickets to out of town so they can go home keep on ending up coming back. Can't wait till the COVID's over and all those warrants are sent back out again. There's a lot of people out here on borrowed time and they don't even know it yet. You have these things take so long to smoke. And then there's the fact that I tear off the very ends of the paper after twisting them so it actually turns into a decent cigarette. So I'm not gonna smoke it down to halfway because then you won't get any. You'll end up burning your fingers. Indeed. Somebody got to at least pretend to be the good guy, even if it's only me. But in reality, my mangina gets hurt just like anybody else's. I'm not Superman, and even Superman bleeds. I'm not Jesus, and even Jesus bleeds. Well, not anymore. I mean, technically, Jesus bled on earth, but he's been dead a long time. And Superman is in a comic book, so his blood is ink. Go figure. Imagination. Yep. Well, you know, Albert Einstein and Nikola Tesla and Leonardo da Vinci and a great many other of the greatest minds that we recognize throughout history say that it's not the math that's important, it's the imagination. Just people don't use their imaginations in the right way. Instead of how can we make the world a better place, it's all right, how can I shut somebody down so they're not heard so that I can play like I'm a winner?
How can I step on my fellow man so I succeed what they have that I want?
How do I take it? I don't want to do the work, I just want to take it. I know there's a lot of women in the United States that have been taught that it's their job to take advantage of men for whatever they want, and their validated excuse is that men are pigs. I'm like, you know what? You're taking advantage of the wrong dudes, though. There's the pigs that you dated, and that's not our fault. And then there's us guys who you come to when you need a rescue because he done beat you 3, 4, 5 times now. Some of the people I help rescue, not all of the people that I help rescue were women, but women are more likely to ask for help. That's because women are more likely to get help. I've been trying to get help for 6 years, almost 7 years. And when you look at the kind of help that I got, like every homeless person has heard this fucking gibberish bullshit at everybody. Oh, I care about you, Sean. I just got my own things going on. Well, yeah. And that's why the predators are getting away. People threatened to kill me and my family. And then after my friend Natalie was shot in the head and it was all over the news, people started threatening my friends and stuff directly. I'm like, holy shit, what am I supposed to do about this? Suicide didn't work. Do what? I was venting to my channel about, you know, how it doesn't matter if people do it on purpose or on accident when it comes to a, well, anybody out here on the streets, it's frustrating and it's difficult, and a lot of times it feels like you're beating your head against the brick wall. And then there's also the interpersonal relationships and all that kind of stuff that, of course, you gotta not step on toes as far as people's families goes, or their boyfriends or girlfriends, or of course just their friends even. And then there's the whole setting the schedule versus life happening, and then there's of course people's wants versus their needs. And most people have no fucking clue what they need. That's one thing as far as long term goes. Most people don't know what they need beyond, yeah, I need a place and I need food. I need food, water, and shelter. Exactly. Yup. Yup. And that's where people get an education matters.
I got my hot water and I need to go piss.
Man, I'm sorry you don't have a penis. Could you just get a soda bottle?
I tried throwing one, no, I never did. I never had
Yeah, and tying on the snozzers don't work. Oh, hold on a second. That I can fix.
Yeah?
Yeah. I have poo-poo paper. And it has not been on, well, it's been rolling around in my vehicle, but it hasn't been on a porta potty floor. Oh. Uh. Alright, I think I might have enough tobacco here to roll one more. My legs are at least warming up at the moment, but I can't just keep on hurrying up and waiting. It's week after week after week after week until I am fucking exhausted and have given up every part of me. And then they're like, oh, I'm out because you're pissed off. No, I have every right to be pissed off. I'm trying. I've been trying. I've been making a fucking superhuman effort by comparison. But of course, you know, people, especially when they take an advantage of you, they're gonna go ahead and play victim. It makes them feel better. Like they didn't do nothing wrong. And here's the thing, every one of these people did wrong stuff. Ain't none of us perfect. Forgiveness is pretty fucking easy when people admit that they made a mistake. When they won't fess up to the mistake and it results in situations where people are hurt or killed, it's a fucked up mistake to have. I don't know how many times I've explained that I don't hate these people, but also at the same time, I do hate my life. I don't get to develop interpersonal relationships. I don't have a safe environment. It's always somebody else's environment that I have to be subservient in, or I have to stop and wait and understand everything that they're going through in their lives. I can't keep my word because of this and can't keep my word because of that. And then they want to be angry when I literally have to do desperate shit because they didn't keep their word. One of the worst ones is when people told me they couldn't because they have kids. Well, all right, you got kids. You can't be honest because you have kids. That does not make sense to me. Is there anybody out there that does make sense to? Also, I'm not sure if you noticed, but I thank females for not hitting on me, not batting their eyes at me, and not playing stupid damsel in distress. You can be an intelligent human being and still need help. You shouldn't have to play like you're retarded to get people to help as a female. There seems to be a lot of autistic people who are offended by the word retarded. And that's because we're highly intelligent. What we don't get is why you can keep on changing the rules. when your words don't match up with your actions, it's either, oh, well, they should have listened to what I said. But then there's also the, if you listen to what they said, they say, oh, well, he should have been able to figure out and read the room. He should have been able to understand. You mean that you guys are liars? You say one thing and do another? Oh, I understand that you do it. I don't see any benefit in it. I've lied a couple of times since Natalie was killed. I threatened to do things that I had no intention of ever doing to anybody. But also, given the circumstances, yeah, it was absolutely the right thing to do. It's akin to breaking a window to save a child's life. If there's a car window and it's a hot day and that kid is going to fucking die if I don't break that fucking window, yeah, I'll break the window and I won't feel bad about it in the least bit. I'll feel bad that I had to break it. I'll feel bad that that situation arose where there was a situation where I felt I had to break a window to save a human life. But I won't feel bad about the actual act of fucking breaking the goddamn thing. Or the fact that it's a human being who owns it. I'll think about the consequences and the repercussions, but yes, ma'am. Anyway, with these folks doing all their running around and they're having to do it on foot because of their vehicle issues, that is something I absolutely understand. 100%. With her getting her vehicle running at 2 o'clock tomorrow, and also her saying that she's going to help me tomorrow, we get to see it's pretty early in the morning now, and she's still having to do her running around. I don't have an income anymore. No reason for me to check the ATM. I have no money. And I got these places that keep on calling me, and the more these people procrastinate, they can take the time. Hey, if I spend an hour helping with your battery, do you think you can spend an hour helping me during the day? An hour and a piece, would that be too much? You know, but I have spent over an hour a piece. Obviously, I've spent a lot of time helping. I'm exhausted, I'm tired, I want to go to sleep. If people want to date or don't want to date, or they want to cuddle or they want to canoodle or whatever it is that they want to do, that's all fine and dandy. But when you have somebody who really needs help, especially after years of going through this, like, do you think somebody could make their appointment instead of wasting my time and resources that I can't get back? I can't live on nothing. And living on my disability money, that was not enough to live on. And then with all the victimization after Natalie was fucking killed, holy shit. No, nobody can fucking survive on this shit without fucking help. And I'm tired of helping everybody and not getting any help in return. I'm tired of people making empty promises and then they can't because it's time to fucking cuddle with somebody or fuck somebody or fucking go eat. That's a popular one. Going out on dates with people. I'm supposed to understand that my friends will allow me to be fucking beaten to death or will drive me to fucking commit suicide because, what, they can't reschedule a date? Why did they set the date to begin with on a situation where somebody needed them and it was a life or death situation? Then when people ended up dying. I told you they fucking would. Nobody wants to listen. Then when those people end up dead, people are like, man, how'd you know? Well, it's not fucking rocket science. When you've lived out on the streets, you've got an analytical fucking mind and you get an education on every goddamn thing you can get your hands on. Yeah, you don't exactly get to remain fucking ignorant of how human beings are. Autistic people tend to be more honest. Now, there's also the on a whim thing, and many of you do that. That's kind of like, you go to help your friend out, but you meet a lady on the way there, and it's something little, like, you're gonna work on the barn this weekend, and it's gonna take 6 weekends to work on it, and yeah, you're gonna put aside a weekend to go talk to a woman that you met at the last time you were gonna work together on the barn. So you're taking a day off from working on the barn, and it's gonna make it take an extra week because you're taking a day off. So you do expect your friend to understand. But then again, when it's a situation where, all right, it's a fucking custody meeting, and it's not just custody, it's the fact that this court date determines who gets to fucking keep the house and the kids, and you really need this person to come forward and tell the truth about what they know about the situation. They're like, oh, dude, well, I would, but, and I know that I said I'd be there, and I told you, hey, if you schedule it for such and such a date, I'll make sure that I make it, and I know you scheduled it specifically for that date so that I could make it, but dude, I gotta get my dick wet. Like, are you fucking kidding me? No, that's not okay. Are you asking for my permission? Because no, I'm going to lose every goddamn thing because you're not coming forward, and it's just going to be me sitting in there with my crackhead fucking ex and her fucking dealer and a couple of his buddies who are obviously also on fucking drugs, and then it's your word versus a whole bunch of little fucking asswipes. And that's how American courts really work. There is no such thing as justice. You can buy your innocence with cash money. As long as you have enough of it. And most of us don't. The people who are victimized the most don't have money for a civil lawyer to go fucking suing people. They don't have the money for fucking food, for Christ's sake. Fuck this goddamn country. And everyone in it. Alright, I'm gonna end this video because I'm fucking tired. Good to be ready. Thanks for coming to visit. Stay out of trouble or don't get caught. Remember, you are your brother's keeper and no victim left behind.